I'm starting this portrait of Frej with a drawing, just to rough in the proportions at the moment, see how big I want it actually on the canvas. Canvas has got a ground on it, this sort of grey, warm grey red. Frej and I are sitting in front of an apartment that he used to live in with his wife Christina 25 years ago, and that will form the background of this painting, which you can't see from this angle. So I haven't got the drawing in. I start on the background. There's the apartment. I've just used charcoal for this drawing, and there I've softened out much of it, just left the bare marks, and now I'm just painting in very roughly that background how I want it. And you can see from the picture there how it looks. Getting a little bit of sky. For this sky I'm using oil paint, and for this bit of sky I'm just keeping that quite warm, so I'm using a phthalo blue mixed down with white and perhaps some other colours, a bit of ochre or something. And then the front of the apartment building there, just grey, cool greys. And then start on the actual portrait. So I thought I'd start with the hat here because it's a big colour and it's making a substantial statement. So I thought that would help me see how warm and how light I'm going to go up there, and then measure the other tones with it. I mark out the main features of the face with a few darks, the eyes, eyebrows, and those shadows on the side of the nose there, and put in a little light on the nose there, and then start looking at some skin tones. Most of the skin tones are slightly greyed down because he's in shadow most of the time. Obviously he's not posing at this point. I'm working in the studio and I've got various photographs which I'm using as a reference. So now just putting marks on. It's oil paint, so they can all be blended together. I don't have to worry about how well they work in terms of being blended, as long as I just get a whole bunch of tones and colours on which I can compare and gradually adjust until they look right together. There's a slight bit of light catching the side of his face there, our right side, his left side, and that's interesting. I like that. So I've just noted it, as you can see, and the thing to do, of course, is make sure that the light tones in this shaded area where I am now aren't so light that we can't see the catch of light. So it's a case of very careful adjusting. And always on the dark side, I like to see if I can get some reflected light, and that's what I've just caught now down the side of his beard there. That's a reflected light coming down on that side. It's not actually this direct sunlight, and at this stage it's hard to see the difference. I'm just putting those lights and darks on, and I'll gradually, because there's such a fine adjustment, I'll gradually adjust those as I go along, because they're very, very close in tone. The light areas in the sunlight versus the light areas in the shadow, they're very, very close. So it's only a small refinement that's going to get that right. Now I'm just working a little bit around the background to blend it all in. And I leave a lot of loose brush strokes when I do that work. And I try to leave brush strokes wherever I'm working. I feel it makes the painting look more like a painting, and that's what I like. And also I like using the rhythm of the brush strokes to carry your eye around the picture and create an atmosphere and feeling. Now I'm just blending that down, and there's the final result after a little bit more blending, which is a bit too tedious and long to show you the whole process, but it's just blending all that down to get to this final result. And you can see how close those tones are, but when they're very carefully measured, that's the result you get.